What's up YouTube, and welcome to another episode of Finance and Freedom. My name is Todd, and today I want to talk to you about Ethereum and why I think it's shaping up to be one of the stronger investments in crypto right now. Ethereum is already stepping in as a preferred network for tokenizing the stock market assets and other real-world securities. So let's get into it. I have been very invested in Ethereum for many years now. I've built several Ethereum miners, stacked a bunch of ETH for several years. If you've watched any of my other videos, you probably know about the several instances that caused me to lose a large portion of my ETH. I'm not going to get into that right now, but feel free to check out my other videos next. Ethereum has been pretty stagnant for the last couple of years. Ever since they moved to proof of stake, it hasn't really performed all that well, until recently. Let's take a look at the performance over the last year. If you look back roughly 1 year, Ethereum has had a really good run. Over the past 12 months, ETH is up about 95 to 100%, depending on the day you look at it. In August, it hit a new all-time high of $4,900. We have fallen a little bit since then, but I think it's a great time to buy. I think it's a great time to buy before tokenization becomes mainstream. Also, its market cap is now sitting in the ballpark of $550 to $600 billion, and it's still climbing. There has been a ton of increased institutional interest. More NFTs, DeFi usage, and stablecoins using Ethereum are all helping bolster the network activity. Tokenization is the process of representing ownership of real-world assets as digital tokens on the blockchain. Those assets can be anything: stocks, bonds, real estate, art, commodity, the list goes on. The idea is that instead of owning a whole stock share, you might be able to own just a fraction of the share via a token. Instead of waiting for traditional settlement, which in many markets takes days, transfers can happen much more quickly with more transparency, lower friction, and often lower costs. So why does that matter? Because tokenization has the potential to unlock huge value in cryptocurrency. Many believe tokenization could transform the financial market as we know them. In fact, the US government is using the blockchain to release economic data, supply chain management, and financial processes. Blockchain technology is only becoming more and more mainstream. Why Ethereum specifically? Well, there's a few reasons. Ethereum was one of the first blockchains to support smart contracts. That gives it the flexibility to implement token standards that are used for real-world assets. There's already a lot of growth in tokenized shares on the stock market assets on Ethereum. For example, in Europe, platforms are working to let users trade tokenized shares of private companies like OpenAI, SpaceX, and several others, via the Ethereum Layer 2 network like Arbitrum. So, in short, Ethereum is positioned well. It has the developer ecosystem among smart contract platforms, wide adoption, many tools, network effects, and momentum. Of course, no investment is without risk. Scalability and fees, gas fees can still get quite high, especially during high demand spikes. If layer 2s or sharding future upgrades don't keep up, that could hinder adoption. Now, there are other blockchains like Solana and Avalanche that are also pushing tokenization and often promise higher speed, lower fees. Ethereum really has to stay ahead if they want to maintain relevancy. As we saw, while the last year has been strong, crypto markets remain volatile. Macroeconomic risks, interest rates, regulatory shocks, and so many other things could change the sentiment very quickly. But why do I still think Ethereum is a strong investment? Even given the risks, here's why I believe Ethereum has a lot of upside. Its combination of network effects plus developer ecosystems means that many projects will likely continue to build on it, reinforcing its position. Tokenization of real-world assets like stocks and real estate allow people to buy fractional shares and then be able to buy them 24/7. To me, that's a complete game changer. And what I don't think people realize is that tokenization of stocks is just on the forefront or just on the precipice of becoming mainstream. There are already several stocks that are trading on the blockchain, and they are using the Ethereum network. The more this becomes mainstream, the more cryptocurrency is just going to keep on snowballing and become huge. I really think that this is going to be a game changer, both for Ethereum and Solana. We'll see which one rises to the top. Solana has higher speed and lower prices, but it also seems to have a little bit less security, and Ethereum has been around for much longer than Solana has. And so I think right now Ethereum seems to be rising to the top, and if Solana can change their game, up their security, it could end up being more of a Solana game as well, which is why I'm holding a lot of Solana as well. Another nice thing about the Ethereum network is you can stake the tokens, which right now it only makes about an extra 2%, but I'll take a free extra 2%. Plus, whenever you're staking, you're actually helping secure the network. So staking tokens is actually good for Ethereum, it's good for you, it's good for everyone. All right, so to sum it up, Ethereum has had a very strong year, like I said, with about 95 to 100% gains, new all-time highs, institutional interest, and growing infrastructure. Tokenization is becoming more than just a buzzword. It could change the way assets are owned, traded, and accessed. Yes, there are risks, but I believe the potential rewards well outweigh them. If you're thinking long-term, Ethereum looks like one of the most convincing bets in crypto, especially if tokenization becomes more mainstream. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, drop a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I'll catch you next time.